and gentlemen, now we are beginning with the post-lunch session, all right? And here we are all geared up for Power Panel 3. The topic for which is EV after sales service and customer support, learnings, caveats, and opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, here I would like to bring forth some of the illustrious panelists to discuss on the above said topic. And I'm extremely delighted to bring forth Mr. S. Punnaivanam, CXO Quality and After Sales, Greaves Electric Mobility, to come on the stage. Sir, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good afternoon, sir. He's a WAP star for Best After Sales Head PV category with an impressive career spanning over 35 years in the automobile industry. He has garnered a wealth of experience, having worked with some of India's leading automobile companies, including Maruti Suzuki India, Hyundai Motors India Limited, and FCA India Automobiles Private Limited, before joining the dynamic team at Greaves Electric. Known for his unwavering optimism and leadership style that sets an example, Punnai firmly believes in the power of teamwork to achieve set goals. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man. Welcome, sir. You can take your seat, sir. Yeah. Next, I would like to bring forth Mr. Rajesh Loomba, MD Eco Mobility. He heads with a focus on operational excellence, safety and innovation. He has driven the company's growth in corporate car rentals and employee transport, building trusted relationships and delivering exceptional service. Rajesh's vision ensures Eco Mobility remains a leader in ground transportation across India. Sir, he's already here, coming in another couple of minutes when I'll welcome him again. Next, can I have Miss Charu Kaushal, the lady who was already here. Ma'am, we welcome you once again. She's MD Allianz Partners India. She's the managing director, as I said, one of the largest assistance company in India. She's the seasoned business leader with experience in banking and financial services, insurance and retail. She joined Allianz Partners in May 2014 and has played a crucial role in charting out an outstanding growth trajectory in India. Over the course of 2 decades of professional experience, she has demonstrated exceptional leadership in roles with P&L accountability for over a decade. She is a people's person with leadership experience and vision needed to drive the business growth and diversification in India. Welcome once again, ma'am. Next, we have Miss Neha Jain, Head EV and Innovation Ecosystem, JSW MG Motor India. Welcome, ma'am. She's a seasoned marketing leader with 15 plus years of expertise spanning EVs, innovation, ESG, and strategic marketing. She drives MG's EV ecosystem, innovation initiatives, and EV education, earning accolades like 40 under 40 and other prestigious industry honors. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Miss Neha Jain once again. Welcome, ma'am. Good afternoon. Okay, next, let me call on stage Mr. Shekhar Bhide, VP Customer Service, Mercedes-Benz India. Welcome, 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 sir. Good afternoon. He has over 29 years of leadership experience, mechanical engineer and management postgraduate. He has excelled in quality production and customer experience. He leads service network expansion, corporate affairs, and CSR, representing Mercedes-Benz globally. Passionate about mentoring, Formula One, and yoga, he champions customer-centric excellence. Welcome, sir. Yoga se hi hoga. Bola tha na aap logo ko. See, look at the glow on his face. And now, let me call the man, Mr. Anuj Guglani. He needs no introduction, and I'm not even giving it here because it has already been done repetitive number of times. So, welcome the man again. And over to you, sir.
Thank you, Deepti.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
So, hello friends. So, किस को नींद आ रही है सच बताना. Yes. So then let's do a small exercise. Let's stand up. Let's stand up, please. Let's stand up. Let's face in a direction where we can hold the shoulders of the person next to us. Can we hold the shoulders? Like this. Like this. Just hold the shoulders. And just press gently, not very hard, okay? Gently. Okay, now turn around. अब आपकी बारी है. Karma. Okay. And now say that I will not sleep. मैं ये प्रण लेता हूँ कि मैं नहीं सोऊंगा. मुझे वो दाल मखनी और जलेबी की कसम जो मैं बाहर खा के आ रहा हूँ. Okay, please sit down. Okay, so this was to lighten the mood a bit. Before we get into a serious discussion, which is on EV. भाई ये EV क्या है? EV भाई EV हो गया, AI हो गया, sustainability हो गया, environment friendly हो गया. These are all buzzwords. Yes or no? On everyone's lips. But then how much are we serious about EV? अब किसी के पास EV है तो उसके पास hybrid नहीं है. उसके पास hybrid है तो उसके पास EV नहीं है. किसी के पास दोनों नहीं है, वो IC करता रहता है. पर हमारे चाइनीज़ भाई EV से hybrid पहुंच जाते हैं, पता भी नहीं चलता, पता नहीं क्या उनके पास magic formula है. So one is that how do we all come together to collaborate? You know, in the same workshop, we are having the ICE, we are having the hybrid, we are having the EV. How to do your bay management, how to do your skill management, how to do your spare parts planning, how to use your technology, forecasting, SOPs, training, customer handling. It gets so complicated. You know, it's like a crude example, if in the same workshop you're getting a horse carriage and you're getting a bullock cart and you're getting a car and you're getting a racing car, it's bewildering, you know. So you're getting all kinds of technologies in the same workshop now. How are you managing this diversity? That's the most important thing. Second, is range anxiety over? Is it RIP range anxiety? Or it is still the number one customer's concern or priority? How are we going beyond this range anxiety? How is the consumer behavior in EV changing, transforming? How are we making our teams ready for managing customer care and after sales? Like I had read, Allianz has been granted a patent in EV, electric EV battery swapping or scooter charging. That if you are stuck and if you are totally, drained out on battery, then electric two-wheeler comes to you and charges up gives you a brief charge, and so that you can go to the nearest charging station. So such innovations are coming. Then even what even Neha had shared, how they are fighting range anxiety. This IVASS battery as a service. You just add ₹1 more, even charging is taken care of. Mercedes doing so much, and of course Punnai sir, so born electric, Ampere, Greaves, electric mobility, plus having Hyundai experience,
trying to become more electric.
So we could not have asked for a better panel on EV, and we can see our dear friend Mr. Rajesh Loomba. Please join us here, sir. Mr. Rajesh Loomba is the managing director of Eco Mobility. Welcome. So they recently won the WAF award, and they also went public. They had an IPO, and he really loves electric cars, doesn't he? We'll get to know soon. So without further ado, if we can begin this discussion with Punnai sir on what he feels are the changing consumer behavior trends in electric two-wheeler, how he has seen the journey of evolving customer behavior, and what are the nuances around the workshop management, planning and operations of an electric vehicle. So if you can share some nuances on that.
Thank you, Anuj, for having me here. And ladies and gentlemen, I represent Greaves Electric Mobility, a fuel agnostic company. We have been making from 3 plants, diesel vehicles, CNG vehicles, and also electric vehicle, two-wheeler and three-wheeler and e-rickshaws. So we have been dealing with from a rickshaw customer to an auto user to two-wheeler user. And I come from vast experience from four-wheeler customers for more than 30 years. And one thing common across all the customers is that the OEM dealers should take care of whatever they want at the dealer service center. That is no compromise, irrespective of the sector of the customers. Second, when we come particularly to on the EV, the new challenges that I learned along with the industry is that R. What I will say is triple R was very famous. I would like to add one more R. Number one is because of no history being available on the electric vehicles, be it is four-wheeler or two-wheeler, we are all 3 to 4 years old. I'm proud that Ampere Electric Mobility is more than 16 years old, but were dealing with low performance vehicle, and now after we started making the city drive vehicles, high performance vehicle for last 3 years only. Those vehicles do not give the confidence to all the current, IC customers that, after 6 years kya hoga, after 5 years battery ka kya hoga, where will the, battery after the warranty be serviced, repaired, charges, etc. So, lot of, ambiguity is there. So, that's why current penetration of EV is much compared to the estimates, all our experts were making. Now, one challenge is what will be the resale value? Since we do not have the reliability or the durability data, first one is resale value of the vehicle kya hoga? After 5 years, if I want to sell and buy another, electric vehicle, what will be the resale? So that is one caveat or one challenge that we are looking at. Second is the remanufacturing. If at all vehicle becomes older after 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, we cannot just hand over to all the neutral workshops. We are developing our dealer workshop. As I said, we are also synergizing our Greaves, all partners, three-wheeler technicians who are working for multi-branded. We are synergizing them. We have put on our portal, Greaves portal. All of them are using Greaves Upahar. Upahar is the app that we have developed. The technician can simply open a very, very quick job card by entering 5-6 details, and when he consumes any Greaves Care spare parts, he will get an incentive by scanning the QR code. So we have digitally progressed. So we are looking at now remanufacturing facility. I'm glad that by last 1 year to prepare, right to repair was, the ACMA gentleman was talking. Government is pushing right to repair. We cannot keep replacing batteries, converters or controllers, etc., which will be very costly after the warranty period. So we have already set up more than 7 battery repair centers across the country. We expected what will happen after the warranty. So in advance, we started making, and one of the TVS, sister companies we are tied up for repairing chargers. So old customers can give the dealer and dealers can get it properly, qualitatively, get them repaired in a process.
Pune sir, here a question of customer concern. A refurbished or a repaired charger or a battery, do customers have concerns around them for quality or safety?
No. What I'm saying is, then also even a charger will be opened and proper soldering, proper ICs will be placed. It is not that jugaad wala kaam nahi hoga. That's why we are working with reputed OEMs and subsidiary of TVS to repair. But government's focus will be right to repair. You cannot replace a 30,000-40,000 rupees and load the mother earth. I have to play that role also. We can't just dump the battery. Warranty I can give 10 batteries, free of cost. But where will the old batteries go unless if it is reused? So reman will be the second R. That will be a challenge, and that we are all conscious and we are working on it. Then range anxiety. You are talking about range anxiety. And it is the very oldest question for EV, right? Even during IC times, city customers used to buy petrol vehicles. Intercity travelers used to buy diesel because they want to run far, so they wanted to expect a high mileage vehicle. So that story continues. Now, in my previous company, we sold Kona, which used to give 450 kilometers mileage. I used to have customer complaint there also. Chennai customer will say, I wanted to go to Coimbatore and return back in one charge. Now, MG must be having the similar thing. Now, they recently launched 600 claimed mileage. So now in the Nexus, which you saw, the certified mileage is 136 kilometer. But my sales team does an urgent job of just pushing that certified mileage without highlighting the real-time mileage. So range anxiety for not, educating the customer or informing the customer correctly will create. Then I was talking about the other one is reverse logistics. As a company, now a lot of electric parts are to be brought back to the factory, whether it is warranty parts or for the remanufacturing. Reverse logistics is also turning out to be one opportunity, currently challenge. So we are all working with all logistics companies to make it very, very simple. And the awareness about reliability,
Reliability of the product.
Overall EV vehicles, negative message spreads faster.
Ola,
very difficult
Shola,
to say,
Ola, Shola.
Anuj Guglani is a nice person. People don't forward that message. If I talk something bad about nice, entire team will forward your message, right? So,
absolutely.
yeah, so lot of negative perception has been created on EV, and all the OEMs are trying hard to put, it's more durable.
Who's doing that negative perception? Who's doing that negative perception?
Negative perception and negative messaging.
Who's doing that negative messaging?
Media and social media. People are doing not positive.
He's saying that is positive, not negative.
For brand awareness, it will be negative. So I thought, these are 5 R's that we are aware of and we are working on. Then what we are going to do, maybe my fellow panels also will explain, or I'll come back on what are we working on each one of them.
So surely, so just one quick question, Punnai sir. A customer buys an electric scooter. Now they have been there for a while now. It's been several years. So that one vehicle life cycle might be completed. So what would encourage that customer, him or her, to come back for a additional replacement or electric scooter? Are they coming? Are they buying replacement additional?
Yeah. I have a customer in Coimbatore who bought our Primus and has driven more than 1 lakh kilometers without any major problem, except for few services, some brake issues, wear and tear items to be replaced. So similarly, Magnus EX, most of the customers have driven more than 50,000 kilometers. So they see a lot of value in the cost of ownership. That is the main cut that we have to win over the IC vehicles, that now people are realizing, but the entry segment customers are not that great in communicating this positivity compared to the negativity that is spreading around. So we have to make them billboards, we have to make them our brand ambassadors, lot of social. That is what we have to work on. Even on range anxiety, which you said, I've got 2 happy news. When we first were building the proto vehicles for Nexus, we wanted to have a reliability drive. So K to K, Kashmir to Kanyakumari drive, this vehicle, not this vehicle, we put the Nexus vehicle and it was driven up till Kashmir from Kanyakumari, covering more than 115 cities and covering more than 10,000 kilometers before we pumped into the market. That gave us a very, very good positivity for the Greaves brand, that we work on reliability of the vehicle and tested, then launched it to the vehicle. Similarly, on the 3-wheeler EV, sorry I'm taking a little more time, but it's EV time. So in the E3-wheeler also, our brand called Eltra, that has clocked more than 220 kilometers. From Bangalore in one charge, it reached up to Mysore in one charge. So that entered into books of records, Indian Book of Records. So a lot of good news are there. The OEMs are making, higher ampere capacity vehicle, and higher ranges are yet to come. People are working on 15 AS per cell to 30 AS per cell to now 60 AS per cell. So lot of good things are going to come as customers start spending more money, they will have better range.
Fantastic. Switching gears, now coming to Charu, especially because Allianz, one of the global leaders in RSA, and they have recently been granted the patent for that EV RSA initiative and service. So Charu, a very quick question. Consumer behavior towards RSA and IC hybrid vehicle vis-a-vis EV, whichever form factor, what do you think is the key difference in consumer behavior, priority and expectations?
So I think, from an RSA perspective, it's always a situation of emergency. So it's not that the behavior is very different, but definitely range anxiety is real. Anybody who's buying an EV, it's typically their second car. They definitely have another car, an ICE already running, and that's what they typically use for traveling between cities. So consumer behavior on EV is cautious. They're also, from a roadside assistance perspective, if I see the EVs that we service, of course, we all know that on the 4-wheeler space, EV penetration is very limited. But within that, the roadside assistance we do, of course, towing related services are higher than roadside repair, which is different from what we see in our ICE portfolio. So that is one. Second, I think, they haven't really visualized EV as a mobile till now. So it's not that you can charge it anywhere. But there is this whole element of charging the EV from the home when they go. So all the OEMs currently are giving wall box chargers, and customers will charge the EV. But range anxiety still isn't fully gone away. As Punnai sir very correctly said, every time there is an issue on an EV, that gets highlighted a lot more than the smooth experience customers have with EV. And that is something we've seen a lot because that happens in RSA also. The other bit on customer behavior is we had a lot of mini floods, climate change impact us, right? So when Chennai gets clogged or any other city gets clogged, what we are seeing is the EV customer is more worried than the ICE customer, because somewhere they are thinking that how are you going to handle my EV's breakdown, right? And ICE customers wouldn't think twice, irrespective of what car they own, right? They know it's going to be taken care of. But EV customers have this concern that now that it's waterlogged and it's underwater, is it even safe for me? So from an RSA perspective for us, we've trained our technicians very well. They're all DECRA trained. So basically, we have to take care of their safety also and give comfort to the client as well as the customer. But overall, from an EV perspective, I really think OEMs are doing a lot from the point of addressing range anxiety, partnering with the government to invest in charging facilities. And as a roadside assistance and a mobility solutions provider, we are doing a lot along with OEMs. So that is a brief answer.
Fantastic. So switching gears. So
I will
coming to
just
Neha.
add one small quick
Sure,
point.
sure.
So with Allianz brand, I mean in India, we were the first to launch vehicle-to-vehicle charging. When an EV vehicle gets stopped anywhere in the very, very unlikely event, so along with Allianz partners, we launched vehicle-to-vehicle charging.
Okay, so you got the patent for that only.
Yes, so
So it's
I should come to that.
thanks to him you got that patent, huh?
Absolutely. So thanks to the Hyundai team, and Punnai sir was in Hyundai that time, we curated a portable mobile charger which was for four-wheelers. And 2 years later, we made a similar one on two-wheelers. So it's a TMC, a two-wheeler mobile charger, which is really a battery on a two-wheeler. We got the patent for that. So just to add to that, and it's a mobility as you go service, so it helps to address the range anxiety point.
Oh, that's beautiful. So Pune sir, hats off. So that was some good pro bono work from your side. So coming to Neha now. Neha is heading the EV piece at JSW MG Motor India. And we've all been seeing the kind of EVs that they've been launching. They've launched the ZS EV, then they launched the Comet, now they've launched the Windsor. And Windsor is getting a lot of adulations and a lot of awards and a lot of praises from the customers, record sales. But Neha, still, range anxiety, is it just a electric two-wheeler phenomena, or it's even more exacerbated in four-wheeler? And you have been associated with the organization, you've launched so many EVs. What have you seen as the transformative consumer behavior, and how does it vary across the spectrum from, say, Comet to the Windsor and the ZS?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you so much, Anuj, and the entire team of WAF for inviting me here. So, just adding to what Charu and Punnai sir also said. So basically, when it comes to electric vehicle, range anxiety, I would say, is a concern. But over the years, now we can definitely say it is not the topmost concern. Because one good thing is that in the last 5 to 6 years of the EV segment that we see in India, especially in passenger vehicles, then the kind of products which are launched in market across. So thanks to, I would say, improved battery capacities, battery configurations, and even from a vehicle side, all the innovation. So the range has been becoming better and better. That's one point. Secondly, when it comes to range anxiety, this definitely comes as a question because when people want to travel intercity, they want to have the confidence that, the travel is smooth and they are not stuck anywhere. So from that perspective, and this is also reflective in the sales, because if you see the profile of the EV customers, a lot of customers have bought EV as their second car. So range anxiety, I would say, again, from different perspective, if we see, there are different type of concerns. So if I am considering EV as my primary car in the family, then obviously the questions like how will I travel intercity, and is there a proper charging infra available? These are the questions that I have in mind. Secondly, if I'm talking about EV as a secondary car, then and my travel is restricted to within city for my daily, I would say, commute to office and all. So then the cars which are available in the market, they have sufficient range. And for a car like, for example, ZS, Windsor, even Comet for that matter, if you use those cars, you need, I think, for an average, if I take an example of Delhi, from a Delhi to Gurgaon or a Noida to Gurgaon commute, you need a charging which is once in a 4 day. So, from that perspective, and home charging contributing to 95% of the charging is basically where you get the peace of mind. So, and obviously, one other thing is, apart from the battery, I would say, technology, different type of product solutions are also helping. So when we look at from MG side also, the three cars that we have launched. First is a SUV, which takes you long range, right? Second is a urban mobility solution, which is basically a very compact, very practical car, especially suited for traffic heavy cities in India. And
that's actually the Khan Market car.
Yes, and Chandni Chowk Khan Market car. So you can wonderfully navigate using Comet. And the third, which we have recently launched, Windsor, is the business class experience. So, so that is where I see how the preference and how the concerns of the range anxiety are taken care of. Secondly, I think there are enablers now. So when it comes to charging infra, we see the condition in India in the last 6 years. Thanks to so many charging players, the charging infra has definitely strengthened. And now you see all the major highways and even the city entry-exit points, they are very well covered. And as MG, we also keep on working on how we can address these problem areas. And we launched eHub this year, which is India's first unified EV charging platform. So with eHub, we partnered with 28 charging players in the country. Because currently when EV users, they say that, how many charging apps do I download? How do I find the nearest charger? So to address that, we partnered with all the leading charging partners, and we created the solution called eHub. And this is available for all EV users, not only MG, but MG, non-MG, all EV users can download this app and use it. The second thing we did was EVpedia, which is a dedicated EV education platform. Again, to address the myths, create or I would say provide more information on the range anxiety.
So over here, like something like EVpedia, when it comes to the vehicle care or after sales, so what kind of points or important points do you disseminate to your customers with respect to EV after sales? Anything on that?
Yes, so there are a lot of questions that are being asked, right? So that, for example, driving patterns affect your range. So how can you maintain your car? How do you compare the ranges, for example? How do you maintain your car? How can you maximize the range? If you're traveling to different terrains, the range can vary. So so there are a lot of content which is available on EVpedia, which can help to address these answers from a customer. Even on eHub, we have an intuitive trip planner, which also takes care of the elevation across the route. So because, the range can vary. So this gives you very intuitively what are the next stops you should, stop at. So.
Fantastic. I think that's a lot of thinking, a lot of intuitive thinking for the customer. Because as what I'd asked Punnai sir also, how many customers are coming back for additional repeat sale? Unless we do these kind of initiatives in vehicle after sales, customer care, they will not come back. It'll just be a first and last kind of purchase to, for the time being. So Shekhar, coming to you, being the leader in the luxury car segment, so luxury car customers have very different kind of expectations. I'm sure Rajesh would agree to that because he owns and he rents out. So he's there as a customer, he's there as a service provider. So when it comes to luxury car customer, how do you actually manage the workshop? Because what I mentioned earlier too, so many different chemistries, IC, hybrid, EV in the workshop, so many parts, technology, skilling, planning, base, and plus managing the customer expectations, which obviously because in the luxury segment, he or she would be buying more for the status. I have an electric luxury car. So do the expectations really go through the roof? Because as it is, they would be touching the roof. So how do you manage electric luxury segment? That's, everyone wants to know.
So thanks for the question. Thanks for having me here. Greetings to everybody. It's a very interesting discussion we are having right now, and I'm hearing to my colleagues, they have given some valuable inputs. What we are experiencing is at two extremes of a customer behavior. One is from luxury expectation point of view, and when it comes to electric, I think they are pretty much from the other electric brands also, they have some basic expectations. So one thing is, as OEM, we are also from our side trying to contribute to settle this ecosystem. I believe that unless all the manufacturers do this effort jointly, whether it is range anxiety, whether it is a technological question mark customers may have, will not go away unless they see a robust ecosystem around it. Now, specifically talking about the range, I think for Mercedes, it has been definitely one of the most important point that we have always tried to have our products in a rather higher segment of range. Mainly from the point of view that the customer should not have to worry on this topic at all until we have a very robust charging infra that should get developed. And here I think the most important point is also technologically, which I think we heard just now you mentioning, democratization, I say, of the charging infra will help a lot. At every charger, any vehicle can be charged. And there are really some coordinated, integrated, well-networked apps, solutions for customers that they can seamlessly use those chargers. To the extent, for example, in our workshops, now coming to the workshop, we have made our workshops ready for all the electric vehicles. Starting, let's say, from charging. We have chargers, and at almost all workshops that we have ultra high-speed chargers. And they are not only charging Mercedes cars, they are also charging all the other brands. And this we offer also to other customers, making effect and influence in the big picture that customers get that confidence. Now coming to the technology and readiness, I think we also pioneer a lot of technological advances in the automobile. And other than the drivetrain, electric vehicle is finally an automobile. So many other automotive mobile parameters, we had made sure that we have this transition from ICE to hybrid to electric, but the focus being on ultimately electric, and that is how we have now also set up our workshop, whether it comes to the equipments and tools, facilities, training to the people, making them sure that they are refreshed all the time, because the car park is not at that number as yet. And finally, also customers, not forgetting them, because when it comes to electric, safety becomes very, very crucial. So to educate our customers also, and not only the technicians, I think is very important part. And having said that, I think we are having that journey started, that we seamlessly transit as customers wants to transit us from ICE to hybrid to electric. But finally, whether it is ICE or a hybrid or electric, a Mercedes is a Mercedes.
So I think that's what matters the most. The Mercedes is the Mercedes. So Rajesh, now coming to you. So you are there in the business of shared mobility. You are you own one of the biggest car rental companies in the country, and you have thousands of vehicles, your own as well as in your network. What have been your experiences of letting out electric cars to customers? Because after ESG, a lot of corporate customers want electric cars for more transportation. So when it comes to the after sales, the maintenance, what are the challenges and how viable it is as a product for you? And what is your plan for the electric fleet, ramp up?
Thanks, Anuj, and thanks for inviting me here as a representative of the cab industry. But it's interesting that most of the focus, that is there of the OEMs on the four-wheelers is more on a retail customer rather than, and probably that's a more profitable segment for them. But what our usage is such, typically we use, our car usage is 5 times that of a typical retail customer. So that leads to definitely much more wear and tear, much more battery degradation, And if the OEMs are interested, it's much more data for them to help improve the product faster. So we're running around 12,000 cars on our platform, but out of which our EVs are only around 125. So we have had a cautious approach to going in for EVs, and that decision has stood us well. Because if you look at, in terms of the cab industry, most of the companies which went EV first are still having operating losses at the unit level. So this needs to be questioned why. So the myth was propagated that there's no maintenance cost, you'll not need mechanics, But what we have found over the last 4 or 5 years is that the total cost of ownership of an EV at any segment level is actually coming out more than an ICE. And that is the sad fact.
Is that because your usage is 5 times more, or is it because of the basic design or chemistry of the vehicle?
What our conclusion is that the product, you see, the IC engine has taken 100 years to mature to come to this level that you can, eyes closed, don't drive with the eyes closed, but you can rely on it, to that degree. EVs is a recent phenomenon, and I feel, unfortunately, the Indian manufacturers specifically have not really invested that much in the R&D as their Chinese have. Today, the leading technology, which we feel, including MG, is far better than Indian, unfortunately. And my appeal is to the Indian manufacturers also, please focus on the product. The product is not mature enough, especially the entry-level product. If I were to compare the entry-level sedan, the TCO of an EV is 25% more than the widely used, Maruti product.
So in that TCO, if you say 25% higher, so the maintenance, is it maintenance or the acquisition cost?
It's right from the capital cost till you sell it. That's the total lifespan of the vehicle.
You feel the resale is also lower comparatively?
Resale is lower, definitely. That's what has come out in the last, whichever vehicles were purchased and then sold. Resale is much lower. In terms of the maintenance, while there may be lesser moving parts, but the preparation for the after sales is lesser than what they are amplifying the sales. Listen, you need to build up your back end first before you start selling the car, to take those level of repairs that would be required, your stocks of your spare parts, everything. So it hurts us when a car which should be repaired in 2 hours, unit time to repair the car, but it takes 20 days to repair the car because there's lack of spare parts.
So that doesn't have anything to do with the technology. So that's the support system, the supply chain, the logistics,
yes,
which have to be in place,
yes,
or skilling.
And in certain cars, yes, the technology part also, where there is less of investment into the R&D, right? So those battery level balancing, etc., is failing over there. And you see, although we connect with the OEMs, but we are more connected with drivers. We are more connected with the supervisors and technical staff at your own workshops. And this is where we get our feedback from. And that's how then we make our decisions. When do we go? But I do feel that there is also, when do we flip the switch and go towards EVs? And by the way, I'm not sure.
What is the opportunity according to you?
I'm not even sure. We are not sure. Actually, is EV the final answer as an alternate fuel, which is, environment friendly? Or is something like hydrogen going to leapfrog over that? We're not sure about that. So we have to be careful when we make our investments into the product. EV has stood a good test in terms of, the three-wheelers and two-wheelers, I think, yes, over there. But
So
in terms
all this
of
was for the four-wheelers that you mentioned?
Yes.
Not for the two-wheeler or three-wheeler?
No.
Okay.
It's more for the four-wheeler part, where I think a lot more work still has to be done to make the EVs viable as a long-term solutions. And OEMs need to work closer with the cab companies who are actually the main users. And it's the best use case for the EVs also currently, where there is a less of infrastructure for charging, etc. And then like the range anxiety, etc. is more there in the in the consumer's mind. But if we were to act together about putting in the right charging infrastructure, they need to talk to each other to have standardization of charging infrastructure. Mercedes is using a different adapter, MG is using a different one, BYD is using a different one, Tata is using a different one. So that doesn't help at all, you know. And
I guess you launched that unified charger, no, recently, Neha, what you mentioned. Does that solve the problem?
Actually, for the four-wheeler, I think this is already sorted at at a major level, because now you see there are only two type of charging standards for four-wheelers. I mean, one is obviously the old one, which is continuing, but the major new cars, present cars across all brands, they're using the same connector.
yeah, so between the old, so we have old and new, and it becomes difficult.
So it's a transition anyways in the industry too.
Yeah.
So any question before we start the second round? Any question which anyone might have? Okay, can we have a mic to our dear friend Satish over there, please?
I agree to your point on the infrastructure that as a country we have to develop. On the warranty part for the B2B customers, Citroën offers up to 300,000 kilometers for the electric segment.
Even for in the shared mobility, car rental as well?
Yes, 300,000
Okay,
kilometers.
standardized.
And 7 years we give. For B2B customers, we give 5 years and 125,000 kilometers. And customers can take, if they want, they can take it more. So, as a customer B2B, you're safe in safe hands when compared to us. And
Satish, something on TCO? The gentleman raised a concern on TCO.
What he said was right, because of the fear. After the 7th year or after the 8th year, if I have to replace the battery, which is costing 50% of the vehicle today, what will happen? In today's scenario, what he said is right. But by the time these cars reach 7 years, we will see many of the Indian organizations evolving with the battery manufacturing coming up. Okay, we are not very far in that. That's what I see. Within 3 to 4 years, we'll have many companies. Tata has already started. So we'll see many companies coming forward. So today, a battery which is costing maybe 500,000 rupees, 5 lakh rupees, after 5-6 years, it would cost only 2 lakh rupees in India. By the way the technology grows, we will also be adaptable to the situation. So ultimately, the TCO, what is calculated today, will not be relevant after 5 years, is my foresight. Thank you. Yeah.
Just one comment I wanted to add when it comes to battery, because that is the most important piece in the car the customers are worried about. I think at Mercedes, definitely we are thinking about the second life of the battery. And the second life of battery is a phenomenon which is very actively pursued to see where, in what all mechanisms or equipments this battery can be used. And lastly, the material that is used in battery is highly recyclable. So that is also something, but an ecosystem needs to be, as I said earlier, developed around it to get that mobilized, commercialized, and by that customers getting that confidence that I will not be left high and dry with the battery which is not usable and I will have to pay for that price at the end of the life cycle.
Now, quick question, coming back to the Karam Bhumi of vehicle after sales service. Let's come to the workshop. In the workshop, and that's to everybody, especially the OEMs, in the workshop, when it comes to skilling, when it comes to understanding, repairing, fixing a IC vehicle, hybrid or an EV, or the bay preparation, how confused or sorted is the technician, supervisor and the service advisor? Because that's where the buck stops any which ways. Is it really a challenge for them? And if yes, what are we doing to enable them, empower them for flexibly changing between these technologies and applications?
Shekharji, I'll just address one of the biggest concern. I was saying eco-mobility was sounding little concern, right? From the industry, I should give some, as an OEM, while we are giving vehicles, first on Greaves side, I'll tell one positive news to motivate everybody. JFL is a pizza delivery, agency, and they have bought more than 18,000 vehicles, Magnus EX and Zeal vehicles, and they are using for delivering pizzas within 30 minutes. They can't afford to have, downtime. The vehicle, when the order is there and the scooter is down, that cannot be there. So I will not say, because I head quality also, and I'm in the industry for 35 years also, so I cannot say a no product issue will be there. The thing is how to manage, the OEM should have a preparation, like if I have these many vehicles, how much additional spare parts, advanced spare parts are required, or standby vehicles are required. Even if your battery is down, how many loaner batteries have to be there, because battery cannot be repaired quickly, right? Or you cannot, as I said, I will never dump a battery into Mother Earth. So we have to have alternate solution for every problem. So I now have, with pride, I can say, in this year I have given 93% of first fill rate of all the orders come. So we need to prepare, because challenges will always be there, and I take that as how to make it as opportunity to deliver better. I mean, all the probable problems can be planned and minimized. Now quickly, as I said on the question on workshop management, we as such are, fuel agnostic OEM. In our Greaves workshops, we handle CNG, three-wheeler, and we have started selling, electrize our electric vehicles. So we have to identify in a bigger hospital who is the ophthalmologist, who is the, so we train them. Entry level of technicians is one. Then we make them specialized in electric vehicle. We, train them in our Ranipet training center, Bangalore training center, Hyderabad training center. We have to identify who is the best to fix the electric vehicle, make him an expert. Same workshop, same, we need to have tools, people, and safety measures. That is the only quick solution. We cannot have separate dedicated workshops for a three-wheeler. But in two-wheeler, I have a dedicated workshop because we are selling only Ampere through that brand.
Fair enough. Any question before we do the key takeaway? Any question? So Satish, you have a question? Yeah, give the mic, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, as what you said, today we don't have technicians for electric cars, I agree, okay. But the easiest vehicle to work is electric car. If somebody knows, I said Ohm's law, right? If somebody knows that, somebody knows the basics, right, it's very easy to work. Like Charu said that roadside repairs are very less when compared to ICE, right? In case of electric. So if you see the breakdown percentage, I think ICE will be more than electric. If you see the breakdown percentage, I'm not sure about it, but if you can add some more values to me, it will be more data to me through your team, it will be very helpful. It will be very helpful. It's very easy to work on electric car. The components are very less, the repairs are very less. If you're able to diagnose it properly, very simple, I'll say.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Ohm's law सीख लो, हरि ओम जपो और चालू हो जाओ. Okay. So last key takeaway, Charu, your key takeaway, 10 seconds, then we wrap up. If there is no question.
Okay, so I think, EV is obviously a journey in India, and we are right now seeing that it's very premiumized. With more and more mass brands getting into EV, we will see faster and better adoption, and consumer behavior obviously evolves. So on this journey, as it evolves, we are pretty much looking forward to it. We actually feel EV will be the future. And at our end, we are doing a lot as Allianz partners because we have a lot of learnings globally. We work in China, it's a big market for us. So we're very confident that it is going to happen. Electrification is going to be a reality, but it will take its own time. And like for everything else, India will have its journey. From an assistance and mobility solution perspective, we are very happy to be part of this and to work with our OEMs to make the adoption faster and an easier experience for the customer.
Neha, your key takeaway, 15 seconds.
So when it comes to EV, I always say that we are at a very interesting juncture at an Indian automotive industry because we are seeing how first of all, number one, there's obviously how the technology, the experience, the customers are actually evolving. And I think secondly, what is more important is EV today, because of so many reasons, environment, looking at pollution in the cities, health reasons, even cost-wise it is more economical, more beneficial. There are many reasons which makes EV the most, I would say, should make EV the most preferred choice for today. So EVs, we should start considering as not as a future option, but EVs are for present today.
Fantastic. Shekhar?
Yeah, I think quickly adding on to that, I think each and everyone is convinced that EV is probably the need of the hour for environment reasons. Then there are obvious benefits when it comes to quieter journeys, when it comes to having charged battery, maybe using the solar power. There are benefits. Now that anxiety customer still has to be mitigated by being with that customer, doing a hand holding and giving that confidence by making the ecosystem robust. And one, I repeat, is the democratization of charging infra. I think that is what we all should work towards.
One, out of curiosity, one question here. A luxury car customer, luxury EV customer, would she be comfortable going to a public charger? Are they comfortable?
Honest answer, they need charge at that point in time.
Okay, so it doesn't make a difference.
That's it.
All right, that's it. So Rajesh, your key takeaway?
So I see that there is a lot of, definitely a lot of effort from the manufacturer side to take the EV journey ahead forward. But yes, there has to be a cognizance of a major user, which is the cab industry, and their needs, which may be different and more evolved in terms of the turnaround times, the reliability of the vehicles, and that they can act really as a testing mule for the cars to help evolve them faster.
So that's an invitation from one of the biggest shared mobility guys in the country, 12,000 cabs waiting for you. Can you electrify them? That's the opportunity in the difficulty. I think Panaji wishes to add something.
No, I just want to ask any data point if they have regarding, of course, EV journey is fine. We all are looking forward, but the repair part, we just saw that between repair and replace. So because of less parts and because of complicated parts and also because the value chain is more on electronics, you have less knowledge in the market. What happens when you have more and more cars and the lead time of supply chain to get those parts stocked, because the value will be high. Every parts in a ICE when we replace can be child component, further child component. So if you have at a very small child component, you can find it easily. Also the value is less, so stocks even can be everywhere. Now you don't have stocks of batteries everywhere, you don't have stocks for BMS everywhere, you'll not have those high value component stocks everywhere, and invariably the customer will have a higher lead time when you go down. Now do you face that? Is there a kind of some data point which says, because today it's fine, when you have millions of car and millions of vehicle on road, and even for ICE vehicle, I'm not able to repair in Madhubani or Darbhanga. If I need something, he has to wait for the next day courier or cycle or something. So do you have any pain point? Okay, we can market to our customers, it's no anxiety, nothing, but this can be a game
changer. So any data point or any success story which you might have, whether we are giving child parts, Pune sir? To save time and cost?
So, in the initial session, I was talking about this only. Right to repair icon, we know right to repair is the government's current promotion. So when we were talking, you were not there. At the cost of repetition, I'll bore all of you. What we were saying is battery or charger or controller, motor, etc. 1.5 years back, we looked at this because after warranty period, customers cannot replace the item. OEM can replace motor, OEM can replace. So we started preparing children part, child part from the suppliers, and we trained the technicians, to repair the motors. Now, as I was saying, we have worked with the TVS group for repairing our chargers. So all qualitative repair, somebody was saying, repair means qualitative with small parts. It is not the repair of everything only. So even battery. Now we were taking the battery to the supplier from one city to all the way to Pune, one city to all the way to Hyderabad. So now we have set up almost 6 repair centers across the zones of India, so that quick repair solution should be available. If it is a BMS replacement, L0, L1, L2, L3, so we have categorized all the battery repairs. The engineers can diagnose if it is a software related bug, he will fix it there only. And if it is a BMS replacement or a coupler replacement, he will do it there only. So level 1, level 2, level 3, we have categorized and we are bringing that network. That's why then EV will become very, very popular.
Fantastic, sir. अच्छा, मैं लास्ट में एक बात कहना चाहूँगा दिल से, 10वां एडिशन है IVASS का, actually अगर आप सारे एडिशन की पिक्चर देखोगे ना, you can actually see how people have grown old. Besides that, पहली एडिशन में अगर हमने बात करी होती ना कि OEM should work with independent aftermarket workshop, तो it would have been a taboo. एक आदमी नौकरी चली गई होती, जब मार्च में थैंक यू वेरी मच बोल दिया होता, इग्नोर कर दिया होता. अभी वो नहीं है. इनफैक्ट इस बार मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा लग रहा है द वे दिस कोलैबोरेशन इज गोइंग ऑन, एटलीस्ट बातें हो रही हैं, ओपनली हो रही हैं. कोलैबोरेशन बिटवीन दी OEMs, दी आफ्टर मार्केट, independent workshops, and we also have the fleet players in the house to give you feedback. So यही अगर हम एक साथ मिलके अगर हम काम कर लें, we'll be unstoppable in the world, and we have to be like that. So on that note, thank you very much fellow panelists, thank you very much dear audience. ज़्यादा नींद तो नहीं आई तो नहीं आनी चाहिए थी. Okay, so over to you Deepti. Thank you.
Before we let all these gentlemen and the lovely ladies go, I would like the felicitation for this beautiful, lovely panel with two lovely women that we have on the panel. And here to do the honors, I would like to bring on stage Mr. Pankaj Narula. Sir, can we have you quickly here on stage? Welcome, welcome. Yes, and the first one is Mr. S. Punnaivanam, CXO, Quality and After Sales, Greaves Electric Mobility, my apologies. Smiles and claps. You know the drill now, right? Now please keep doing that. Next, I would like to bring forth Mr. Rajesh Loomba, MD Eco Mobility, sir. Wow, wow. Next, I would like to give you Miss Charu Kaushal, MD, Allianz Partners India. Ma'am, we welcome you. We thank you all once again. Can I have the representatives from ASDC here on stage? Anyone from ASDC? No. Okay. Can we have Miss Neha Jain, Head EV and Innovation Ecosystem, JSWMG Motor India, the company that has more than 50% female workforce, and I'm super, super proud and super happy to say that once again. Thank you so much, young lady. Last but not the least, Mr. Shekhar, Bhide, VP Customer Services, Mercedes-Benz India. Music na roko. Yes, it gives me the energy. Thank you so much, and please step forward for the picture. Another memory etched forever. Can I have you all forward, please? Thank you. With the certificates, of course. With the certificates, makes a better picture. No? Okay. Lovely. The smiles should be there. And the claps from this side. Wow, what a fantastic panel this was. Thank you so much, everybody.